Good morning. Welcome back to Pastor's Morning Walk. Enjoying a walk through the woods on this cool August morning. We've had a lot of rain here recently. I've been reading in Jeremiah now, continuing to make my way to finish the scriptures, Lord willing, by the end of this month. And Jeremiah is one of my favorite books, though the contents are quite difficult, but there's something fitting to that because we live in a very difficult time of great declension, of great opposition to righteous men, persecution especially of preachers who would, like Jeremiah, desire to preach against the sins of a corrupt people. There are so many things I can mention in this book, but two for today. One is in Jeremiah 17, verse 9. He says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked," and asks, who can know it? Who can know the heart? Well, this is an important question that makes it clear to us that we depend entirely upon God for the knowing of our own hearts. I could prove this from experience as a pastor. Speaking to people about themselves, asking them very detailed and careful, searching questions, trying as wisely as I can to get into their hearts and ask them if they really believe, if they really have repented, if they really are living a godly life. And they're able to answer in such a way that I'm as satisfied as I can be. And yet these very same people, even sometimes weeks or a few months later, prove themselves to be deceitful hypocrites, to fall away. This is humbling. Humbling for the preacher, who thereby finds out that he can't know the heart, though he try and try. But humbling also for any sinner. Because as far as I could tell, at least some of these people, they didn't know their own hearts. Yes, they were lying, but they were lying first to their own selves. Their own heart had deceived themselves. This is a warning to you. If you think that in your own strength you can know your own heart, you've already deceived yourself. This casts us upon the Lord. You need to say to God, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. See if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." The only way that you can know your spirit is by the Spirit of God. And unless the Spirit of God works in you conviction of your own sins, you won't be saved. And once you're saved, only by the Spirit of God can you know you're saved, and thus have assurance. The Holy Spirit bearing witness with our spirit, as Romans 8:16 says, that we are children of God. So do not presume to know even your own heart without the help of God. The heart is that deceitful, that desperately wicked. Another passage worth mentioning is Jeremiah 20. This, to me, has always been a help as a preacher in an evil age. Jeremiah is commanded no longer to preach the word of the Lord, and he's persecuted, particularly. And he decides, well, I'm not going to speak anymore. This is a great temptation for persecuted preachers, especially when you are subject to a tyrannical decree of men not to preach. So say your presbytery decides, based on false reasons, you should be suspended or even put out of the ministry. It's convenient at that point to say, well, They've told me I shouldn't preach. I don't agree, but this is the authority of Christ Church and I should submit. And what you don't say is, and this will make my life easier, I'll get them off my back. Well, when you say that, you forget, as it seems Jeremiah forgot, at least for a moment, that we preach at the pleasure of God, not the pleasure of men. That a minister is a minister of Christ first, and not first of the people. That we must be faithful to Christ for Christ's sake, and not merely because so-and-so says that we should be faithful at this time and place. We're not faithful upon the people's terms. We have to be faithful on Christ's terms. Even if the people opposing us hold a true office in the church, if they are not exercising that office in obedience to the word of Christ, then they're just speaking as men, and they need to be treated as men. Unfortunately, Satan knows when he persecutes a faithful man that faithful man has a remnant of sin, and thus he has a tug on him for his own comfort. Perhaps you need to hear this, preacher. Or perhaps, Christian, you know a preacher who needs to hear this. Perhaps, Christian, you too can apply it to your case where you have all too conveniently shut your mouth. Don't do it. When there's a cause of righteousness and truth, you may not shut your mouth. You must lift up your voice. Thankfully, Jeremiah came to his senses because the pressure from the inside was too great. His word was like a fire in his bones, and he had to speak. And may the Lord give this fire to many faithful men today. And to you, even if you're not a minister, according to your own place and calling, may he help you speak the truth. The Lord bless you today.